best movie of 2017 has to be maybe in my top 10, maybe five 2017 films that I watched, and I might have only watched 10 or five 2017 films, um, is Get Out by Jordan Peele. It's just, I'm looking for acknowledgement there for the guy in the corner. No, honestly, it's
Get Out's a good movie.
honestly, if you've got some time, I would sit and watch it. It's such a good social commentary, such a good experience, such a good story. It's very simple, but it explains some points and goes some. It's quite an emotional journey, I think, in my own view, and I really respect it. It's a piece of art and a bit of film. It's not some Hollywood piece of shit. It is actually a film in its own right. So yeah, not filled with people that you would well know. I'm going to name names, but I can't remember any names. So again, that shows you how well known these guys are. Terrible. But honestly, probably my favorite film of 2017 for a guy that is more known directing comedy skits and things like that, having something a bit more of a serious point of view, as well as having a bit of tongue in cheek and, as I say, social commentary as well. Explores race in a way I've never seen a film do before. If I'm honest, I feel like I'm the guy in the chair right now because I'm sitting on this chair. Honestly, really highly recommend it. I don't want to spoil anything about the plot. It's such a good film. I think anybody should watch it.
This, for a point, was really difficult. I thought my mind was definitely made up until I saw my number one movie of 2017. For a long time, it was Dunkirk. So it's a really good movie. If you saw it in IMAX, it's an absolutely insane experience. You probably won't get to see it in IMAX now, unless you own an IMAX cinema, in which case you probably won't be watching this. But my number one movie of 2017, I kind of hands down, I think was was Blade Runner 2049, the movie that everyone hates, which pretty much means that I'm going to like it. I just thought it was a great movie. Thought the cinematography was out of this world. I thought the story was really good. Thought really strong performances in that movie. Yeah, I just really, 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 really enjoyed it. I even got the soundtrack on vinyl for Christmas because, I don't just hipster halfway. I go full on hipster. Yeah, Blade Runner 2049, easy choice as my movie of 2017.
Two sequels came very close. First one being Trainspotting. I loved the original Trainspotting film. And the second one I thought was the perfect mix between a strong story and the hitting the right nostalgia spots. And for a long time was my favourite film of the year. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is another honourable mention. The plot maybe not as strong as the first film, but I thought there was a lot of good character developments, and the way that they made Groot gave them a lot more freedom to do some new exciting things with Groot. But favourite film has to be It. I didn't really have much expectations of it. I happened to be off sick at the time and was starting to feel a bit better and wanted to do something with my time. So I went along to the cinema because I thought I can sit in a cinema for a couple of hours. And I went in to see it because it was the only thing that was on. Was worried because it was half day on a Wednesday that I was going to be the only one in the cinema. Thankfully, there was other people there. But it was a film that made me laugh. It made me... I felt tense. I forgot I was in the cinema. It completely engrossed me. The guy... I've got his name here. Bill Skarsgård, or however you pronounce his name, was sensational. All the kids were great. The boy from Stranger Things absolutely stole it. A sensational film, and the sequel can't come fast enough on the topic of sequels. So, but yeah, it definitely film of 2018. 2017.
Worst film of 2017. My worst film of 2017 is a film that I've not even watched, right? But I'm going to review it because I watched the first one of those films this year, and the third one came out this year. And it's one of those films that I feel like it's the same film 3 times from what I've seen in the trailers. So this is my review of 2017. Pitch Perfect 3 is my worst film of 2017. Now, I watched Pitch Perfect 1 this year for the first time, and I love it. Anna Kendrick. I love her. She's brilliant on Twitter. She's got a great sense of humour. She's beautiful, brilliant person. Absolutely love her. Her character is so flat in that first film. I do not understand how they made 3 other films out of it, apart from there's music going on. It was just like, see that Glee, that was good. No, it's not. And let's make a film version of that. Let's mimic all the YouTube a cappella groups that were big in the year 2000 and just go with that kind of bell curve of hits on YouTube. And we'll make 3 films out of it. You had, I can't remember her name now, Australian lassie comedian Rebel Wilson. Really funny lady. For her, I think it's very good exposure for her. Terrible character. Okay. Every single person, I had no idea what was going on. It was a boy-girl film, then it was Bring It On. Like, I'd rather watch Bring It On, which is a cheerleading film, which is so good, right? That was that kind of cheesy film that I wanted to watch. That was what that made for Pitch Perfect. Terrible film. And they made 3 films out of this. Stop it now, please. Please, no. But that was my worst film of 2017. One I will never watch.
You know that Pitch Perfect 2 is the highest grossing musical movie ever? It made more than School of Rock.
I don't care.
Maybe not the worst film of 2017, but the one I'm going to go for has to be Justice League, because as somebody who reads a lot of comics, I enjoy the Marvel movies more, but I've always been more of a DC comic reader. And there's so many good Justice League stories, so many good Justice League villains. There's such strong characters. To mess this up the way they did was just embarrassing. I honestly feel that it's harder to make a bad Justice League movie, or a movie this bad, compared to making a good Justice League movie, because you've already got all the stories there written for you. It's just a mess. They've just rushed it together, and then obviously there was an unfortunate thing that happened with Zack Snyder, which meant Joss Whedon's came on board, but then that's meant that Joss Whedon has started to do it in a different direction, and it means that they've taken 2 different films and tried to merge them into one, and you can tell, and it doesn't work. Another example of this was Ant-Man, where you had a lot of stuff from Edgar Wright still in, but I don't know the director that took over, but that still worked, and that ended up with maybe not a great film, but still a good film, and a film that worked, whereas Justice League was just a mess. So I left feeling quite disappointed with that. So because of that, because of my expectations, I'm going to say worst film, Justice League, although I'm sure, like Austin said, Bright is a worst film.
This was really difficult up until 2 weeks ago, when I watched Bright, which is like chronic. It's really bad. You're allowed to have your own opinions and like what you like, but if you like Bright, you're an idiot. Kind of sorry. No, Bright is awful. Bright has an absolutely shallow story. No one's good in that movie. Like, not normally Will Smith can save a movie. In this, he's awful. Like, really, really bad. It's just so bad. It's so bad. It's like 2 hours too long, and it's not even 2 hours long. Like, do the math. Bright is awful. Bright, I wouldn't, if you paid me to watch Bright, I wouldn't do it. Depends how much, but I probably wouldn't do it. Unless it was a lot of money, then I might do it.
Thank you for watching that video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it.
If you want to check us out on Twitter and SoundCloud, the links are below.
Or if you want to send us an email or some naked pictures, what you'd like, you can send us an email at whataboutitshow@gmail.com. I'd appreciate the pictures.